the little red dot comes up. All right, so we will get started. It's Monday, February 8th at 4:03 p.m. Before we start, I want to ask if anybody other than the C is recording the meeting. Could you please let us know? Jason. Oh.
Okay, Jaden.
Thank you for letting us know. Anybody else? All right. I'm going to take a roll call if I could. Mayor Weta Gardner.
Here.
Great. Jean Wall.
Here.
Great. Jen Strumston.
Here.
Chief Strahan.
I'm present.
Thank you. Peter MacGyver.
I am present.
Herb Forgy.
Present.
Chico and Ross and gang.
We are here.
Neil Joyce.
I am here.
I see Mr. David Singer here joining us from the full building committee. Welcome, David. And
Thank
Carol, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. Thank you. I don't think I missed anybody.
Ed Jarvis is here as well from the full building committee.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ed.
And Roger Hoyt from CMS.
And Butch.
And Butch. Excellent. All right. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from January 27th?
So moved.
In a second.
Second.
Thank you. All right. Any discussion on the meeting minutes before we approve them?
Oh my God, who seconded it? I'm sorry.
I think it was Herb, you second them, right?
I did, yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, Jen. Does anybody have any discussions before we approve them? I just had one, Jen. It looked like it said next meeting was February 4th at the end. Can you just check that? And it should be the 8th, right? Or those were on the notes. Were those part of the meeting minutes or? I think the end, it said next meeting was February 4th.
Yeah, I'll update that.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not trying to be picky.
No, it's good. I'd like to give a final version to the office, so.
All right. Let's go through. I'm going to do it the David Singer way. I'm going to call everybody's name to approve things. Mayor, do you approve the meeting minutes?
Yes. So.
Jean?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Chief Strahan?
Yes.
Peter MacGyver?
Yes, sir.
Herb Forgy?
Yes.
And I approve them. Great. Thank you. All right. I think we can move on. So I hope that everybody received their electronic packet or they took a nice trip to the town hall and received a paper packet. It looks like we did receive information back from two companies, Big Top Manufacturing and Clear Span Structures. So did everybody receive their information? Was there any issues? If anybody didn't get it, please let me know. All right. So I would like, if possible, that we do the same thing tonight that we did a couple weeks ago, where we went through and ranked the two companies together. Did the folks feel like we're prepared to do that tonight? I know we set some of this time aside to discuss if anybody had questions, but it being only two companies, I think we can move through that. Does anybody have any objections with us doing that?
Is it typical? It feels to me like the only time I've ever done this was when we chose the companies that we've chosen, the people that we've chosen to help us, Neil and H2M. But if I thought we ranked individually,
No, we
And
do,
we-
but I mean, kind of last time, we just took we kind of went across the line on the 5 evaluation criteria, and each person said either HAAD or UN.
Yeah.
It's either that or we could pass them in tomorrow individually.
I don't care either way. It's just, it's up to others. I just was curious about that.
Okay. I figured since it's only 2 companies, we might be able to go through it, but if folks feel like they want to just pass it in by tomorrow, I'm okay with that too.
Well, given that I did mine by hand and they're mostly meant to be done by hand, I think, and coming into the city hall is not easy, probably go ahead and get as much done tonight as we can, huh?
That's what I was thinking. Thank you, Mayor. Neil, do you have, I guess before we do that, Neil or Dennis, do you want to say anything about the 2 companies or the 2 packs of information we received to clarify anything before we go into a discussion?
I think we're gonna let Neil take the lead on this one. Go ahead, Neil, if you have anything.
I'm good.
You're good, okay.
What if, I mean, I have a question for them on the form, and I don't know, others may too, unless you're gonna explain to everyone as you go along. I was unclear as to what update statement meant. I just read mine this afternoon. I don't remember something akin to an update statement. Is it just if there is one, or is it there's something there that should have been there and I missed it?
Mayor, if they're DCAM certified, in order to present a price proposal, they have to include a certificate of eligibility and an update statement in modular construction.
What you're talking about there. Okay. I thought it meant an update on their proposal. Sorry.
Nope.
So I think, May, thank you. That brings up a good point. So there was actually 3 companies that returned information. The third one was McCaffrey Structures, and you could see from the survey form that they were non-conforming. So they didn't send us all the information that was required on the RFP. So the green portion really is was supposed to be filled out by the town and the city before it got to us, and they would say, you know, those 5 criteria had to be met before we could even evaluate the criteria. I guess we could go company by company and go through the 5 criteria and then have discussions about them if we'd like.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely. That's what we're here for.
Can we get details why they were disqualified? Because that was the vendor we were looking at from day one.
Yes, Neil can give you that information
So,
now.
Yeah, sure. So the Mahaffey proposal that was submitted, the only documentation they provided was a pricing sheet and a bid bond that was illegible, and 1 or 2 of the signature pages that were required by contract. There was no technical proposal to speak of. So there really was nothing for us to evaluate other than a number. So it's unfortunate, but not completely new to me, unfortunately.
Follow-up question?
Sure.
The diagrams that we received with the stamps of HTS on it, that goes with what company? Says
Symetra or ClearSpan.
okay, so that one goes with Symetra. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, because it just doesn't say their name on the prints. It says HTS.
I did Chief, did you cut out on your last question or statements? Are you clear on?
No, I just was making sure that the schematics, the set of schematics, it says Zematic. I just wanted to make sure that that was indeed the company that submitted that because the stamp plans are HTS.
I got you.
So I just wanted clarification. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Is there any other questions that folks had with respect to the paperwork that was received for the two companies?
Peter.
Go ahead, Peter.
I just had I reviewed most of the documentation yesterday and today, and maybe I'm missing it, but I found a delivery timeline for the Big Top company. However, I was unable to find a delivery schedule for Z-Metro.
Correct.
The delivery for Zemetra was included in tab 5.
It was, I believe it was May 10th.
Yes.
And actually, I didn't see one for Big Top. I was the reverse. Big Top on mine, there's small writing just said, I think it was 7 to 10 weeks. So where did you see the delivery for Big Top? I didn't see that.
It was the same. It was that 9 to 12 week delivery timeline at the third to last page.
Yeah,
At the bottom of their shipping and handling.
Yeah,
Lead. It's under lead time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But they
At
didn't.
least that's what I was assuming was their estimated delivery.
An estimated 9 to 10 weeks. I assume from the date of signing of the contract. That was unclear to me.
Yeah. Okay. But there wasn't an exact date on there, like by this date. But you did say 9 to 10 weeks. And then I think Peter, do you need to know the exact page on where the clear span date is?
No, if there's a date, May 10th, I was just counting out the weeks on my phone.
Okay. I believe, Neil, am I correct saying May 10th? I believe it was.
Yes, that's what I read.
It was a certification of completion on page 33 from Laura. May 10th is the complete no later than May 10th, 2021. Okay. So the folks that should be rating the I just want to make this clear in public. The folks that should be rating the two companies should be the mayor, should be me, the chief, Peter, Dean, Jen, Herb, and I don't think Neil and Pacheco are voting on that. It's just the committee members. So do we seven feel like we can go through the 5 criteria for each company and I can jot down what everybody has ranked them, or does anybody feel like they need to pass it in physically tomorrow? Do you need more? I'm asking, do you need more time tonight to study them and to be able to rank is what I'm asking. I don't see anyone's hands raised saying no. So why don't we go through it? Get through it pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's start with the Big Top Manufacturing Company. So we'll start with the product quality, and I'll just run down the list of folks. Mayor.
AD.
Okay. I'll go second. David, I say AD. Chief. On product.
He's on mute. Ask the members who are rating to get off mute.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I have a couple questions before I'd like to rate on this.
Sure.
That I couldn't find information on. So I didn't find the wind load for Big Top.
I don't think they gave us the load, right?
Okay.
In total detail.
I didn't find the wind load. There's some other information that was obtained in the other proposal that aren't here, but the big one concern for me is the wind load.
I believe, Chief, I believe there was a statement, I can't remember where it was, that they said if there was issues, it would be, it would have to go through engineering. I'm pretty sure I read something like that, but I don't think they supplied us information on that.
On the first page of their flyer.
Yeah.
It comes under the engineering heading,
Yeah.
it looks like.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm bringing it up.
They didn't supply that information in detail, Chief.
In fact, it looked to me as if they were asking us to supply it, but so I was a little confused about that one.
Yeah.
If engineering is required, please provide the proper wind. Is that from the proposal or is that from,
The building code, Mayor.
yeah, but they didn't do that, is what I'm saying, that I could.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
You can say AD or with a question mark. I mean, my AD, a lot of my answers for this particular company have a question mark because I feel like they maybe didn't supply all the information needed. So it is what it is. They either supplied it all or they didn't. You feel like they didn't supply it all, but we still have to rank them.
Okay.
They did.
I will say AD.
I'm gonna say they did in the bold print, if you read it. All engineering to support the structure is considered quote unquote by others, which I assume means not them.
Yeah, it does.
Unless specifically noted on our drawings. So if you didn't find it on the drawings, I didn't look maybe hard enough for it myself. That includes, but is not limited to shipping containers, concrete, soil, etc. So it's a bit of a not so good answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Peter,
AD.
Jean,
AD.
Jen.
AD.
Okay, Herb Pudgy.
AD.
AD. Great. All right, we'll move on to delivery schedule. Mayor.
Hello. Okay, sorry. AD.
Okay. I'm gonna say, David, I'm gonna say unacceptable. Because I really want them to, I mean, it doesn't mean it, just for me, it's unacceptable because they didn't put a specific date down, that's all. Chief?
AD.
Okay. Peter?
You know, the more I read this lead time language, they're pretty non-committal on their date based on their schedule. So I'm going to say the UN.
Okay.
So if I could interrupt, David, I just want to point out that their estimated lead time is 9 to 10 weeks. Add 2 weeks for engineering.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that puts it somewhere, if I counted weeks right, Peter, sounds like you did too, mid to late April.
Yeah.
Yeah, late April. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, actually AD is I mean, it's sort of bordering for me between HD and, I'm sorry, AD and HA.
Okay.
You know.
I'm just a little bit concerned because they didn't commit to an exact, finishing
Right.
date. That's all.
No, I would agree.
Yeah. All right. Jen?
Wait, I'm sorry. Peter, yours was UN.
Yes.
Right. All right. I'm AD. More
Okay. Jean?
AD.
Herb 4G.
AD.
Great. All right, let's go on to code compliance. Mayor.
HA.
I am AD on that one. Chief,
I am also AD. I do have, and I think, I'm not sure if it falls into this category or not, but I do have a concern with one line, and that is under installation prevailing wage quote. Big Top Shelters will be responsible for all equipment and non-union labor.
I had that noted too, Chief.
So I'm not sure what they're trying to say with that, but it doesn't say specifically that they're going to conform with prevailing wage.
Yeah.
Yes, I had that noted. I second that on my
So I
note.
don't know if it's appropriate under this category or not.
Chief, I think how you can interpret that language is that they've acknowledged that there's a prevailing wage requirement. However, they are not signatory with local unions and would be using open shop labor.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Yep.
Peter,
AD.
sorry, Jen,
AD.
Jean,
AD.
Herb.
AD.
Jen and Jean, I didn't mix yours up. I know I said one of you beforehand on the last one, but I got it right. I'm just letting you know that.
We trust you.
I had Jen first, but I went to Jean on the first one, so I got it. All right. We're at performance specifications. Mayor.
Pass by me for a minute. I had something I wanted to check on that.
Okay. I had concerns about this, so I put down a UN with a question mark because I had some concerns. Chief?
I'm gonna go AD.
Okay. Peter?
Well, with the exception of their ventilation equipment that's noted on the B submittal, there is largely no performance information on their specifications. So I would go with UN.
Yep. I had just so I stated, I mean, I had some concerns about some of their specs too, and also I'm a little confused about the door supplying and their quote, their statement about having one of their technicians on site and a separate charge for a technician. I'll have to look into it, but anyway, I had questions about their performance. Peter, I put you down as UN. Jen?
I feel profoundly unqualified to evaluate this part. So, can I abstain on this part?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you.
Jean?
UN.
Okay. Borgie.
I'm with Peter on this. There's a lot, seems to be enough fluff and not a lot of consequence here. So I'm going to go with unacceptable as well.
Okay. Thank you. And back to Madam Mayor.
I'm going to take the Jen defense.
Okay.
Only because I was hovering between AD and UN. I was having a little trouble determining what, without a little bit more explanation of the amount of performance specs that we're supposed to be looking for. I was not seeing things that really spelled that out. So I put down AD at first, but so take it for what it's worth.
Okay. Neil, do you have anything? Do you want to? Can you speak to this category a little bit? I mean, we're all feeling a little bit iffy with this one as far as performance specifications. Do you have any input, or Neil? Do you have any input, Neil?
My input is that it's up to them to meet the performance requirements that are included in the RFP.
Yeah.
How they get there, means and methods are really up to the contractor. I agree the document is a little bit less than clear in many cases. I don't know if Adam, if you can provide any additional insight.
I just agree with Neil here. There's a lot of items that need clarification and a lot of things we need more information on in regards to both of the proposals, I would say.
I guess I would say that was my feeling overall, that the lack of information in this one was, very evident compared to the other one. So it was a little difficult for me to fully evaluate, given that's not a world that I live in all the time.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement.
Well, I'll say this: I learned more from checking out their website than I did their proposal.
Oh, well, I didn't even think about that.
If they were going to sell us on their product, I think they would have included more information.
That's kind of what I felt. The lack of really explaining and showing their product was an issue for me.
It's
Yeah.
tough for me because I'm comfortable with the whole construction standpoint of this.
Yeah.
But if I'm having to evaluate it based on the information that's submitted for the RFP, it's hard to say it's complete.
I also felt like there wasn't give us a lot of reference information. Example, they gave us jobs that they have done or that they're in the middle of, and photos and just showing us their work. So we really don't have any idea of what their performance is. So that's why I had picked UN. All right, I think we're through that. Let's go on to warranty, Mayor.
HA, the 20-year plus, I assume is a good one. Again, we're not going to have it for 20 years, so we're not buying it, we're renting it, so to speak, leasing it.
Yep. Okay, I'm an AD on that. Chief.
AD.
Peter.
AD.
Okay. Jen.
AD.
Jean.
AD.
Herb.
AD.
Okay, great. All right. We made it through.
Woohoo!
All right, just let me give me just a sec so I could repeat my sheet because I'm writing all this down too. So Chief Peter and Jean and Herb. Okay, so we'll go through the same for ClearSpan. We could. All right, so first category is product quality, Mayor.
HA.
Okay, I was also an HA. Chief.
HA.
Peter.
HA.
Jen.
HA.
Jean.
HA.
Herb.
HA.
All right. Delivery schedule, Mayor.
I'm fine with the 510. I like it. HA.
Okay, I'm an HA. David M. Chief.
HA.
Peter.
AD.
Jen.
HA.
Jean.
HA.
Herb.
HA.
Right. All right. Code compliance, Mayor.
HA.
And M. HA. Chief.
HA.
Peter.
HA.
Jen.
Really couldn't tell. I'm sorry. This is it's a cop out.
No worries. Jean.
HA.
Herb.
HA.
Okay. All right. Performance specifications, Mayor.
So it was again a little bit of a toss up, but at the end I went with an HA.
An HA, okay. All right, I'm an AD on that. Steve,
AD.
Peter,
AD.
and
AD.
Jean,
AD.
Herb.
AD as well.
Great. All right, last criteria, warranty specifications. Mayor?
I'll be honest, I honestly didn't see it, so I must have missed it somewhere. So I guess I'm gonna pass on that.
Okay.
Unless, I mean, if it was similar to the other one, then I'd say HA.
I, for some reason, I don't have, this one, I have left this blank for some reason, so let me go back to my notes, I'll move on.
Yeah.
Chief? You have input, Chief?
Let me get back to you. Give me a second.
Neil, do you have, before we go on to this one, Neil, do you have any input on the warranty for them? Did you see anything for, I saw warranty for like products, on the product specifications. Is there,
Right.
did we have a warranty,
On the
anybody?
structure.
Sorry, I'm saying it again. Is that you, Mayor?
I just said, I didn't see a warranty on the structure. I could see warranties as I leaf through the product specs, but
Yeah.
the different, you know, heating, whatever.
Yeah, that was my notes. I saw them on the specs of the devices, but not the structure.
I mean, they're all important, so. But again, the structure is not being, we're not keeping it, so.
It says in the lease agreement that the customer is responsible for all damage to lease property from all possible causes.
Yeah, I did see that. You're right.
Yeah, that's right. It did. But
Oh, okay. All right, I found my notes. Sorry. May, do you still want me to keep you as a no comment on that?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so mine were, I had a UN with a question mark because I did have, the word lease down there. And I wasn't too sure if, I think the lease paperwork and the application need to be looked at a little closer if we determine we want to, if we end up, approving this company, that has to be looked at. So that's why I put that down as a UN. As far as, I didn't know where else to put it, but I put it under warranty just because I had questions about their leases. So anyway, Chief, were you passing on this one? Did you have a ranking?
AD.
Okay, Peter,
AD as well.
AD, Jean, Jen. Sorry, I'll let me go in right order. Jen.
I have all those same concerns, but I'll say AD because I assume they can be overcome.
Yeah, you can put a question mark there. Jean.
AD with the question.
And Herb.
AD, they've got something on their checklist that says that they included it because it's checked off yes, but I can't locate it anyplace either.
Okay. Well, we can get it. We can get it clarified through Neil and through Dennis's group on the warranty information. All right. So we've gone through this. I will make sure that Neil gets the Neil. I'll make sure you get all these rankings. All right, and then you guys are prepared to open up the financials tomorrow morning, the official way with the city, correct? With Laura?
Correct.
And then you'll fill out the bottom part of the documents and you'll get it back to me and I'll distribute it to the team tomorrow afternoon, correct?
Yep.
All right. I believe the meeting for Wednesday at 4 has been posted. Is
Did I understand you to say, David, sorry for interrupting, but
No, go
so
ahead.
we do not have a meeting tomorrow then at 4,
Oh, I said it for Wednesday.
just Wednesday, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good thing because I have an updated snow report if anybody wants to hear it.
We in for a surprise tomorrow? Mayor? Are we in for a surprise tomorrow?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
you know, those Albany people always sending us their crap in the form
I
of
see.
snow.
Well, we'll be driving through there, so.
Yeah, Mayor, it's the Berkshires and they send it to everybody.
Oh, it's
Exactly.
them. Okay, well, they're good enough to, beat up on too, so.
Dave, I've got a question or a comment.
Yes.
Looking back through some of this stuff, could it be possible that they're talking about their warranties being connected to each? Because they've got the Modine warranty included, and one of the ventilator warranties, I believe. So were they expecting the individual unit type warranties to cover what we were looking for?
I don't know if I can answer that question.
Yeah.
I think I would
That's-
rely on Dennis and Neil to answer that question.
Okay. All right.
All right. So you will see an email from me tomorrow with the financial information for these two companies, and then we'll get back together on Wednesday at 4, and we will try to make a recommendation to the full building committee on Thursday. Does anybody have questions on that process, Mayor?
Did you inform, I can't remember the calendar, but I don't recall seeing a Wednesday meeting. So you need to inform Caitlin ASAP if you can, because there's a question as to whether she'll be in the office tomorrow or not. She'll be working from home, but still.
We communicated this morning, and I believe she put the meeting together already.
Okay.
Whether
It's posted on the city's webpage.
Yeah, but has the meeting invitation been sent out?
No, I'll
didn't.
send it out right after this. She sent it to me and asked
Oh,
me
okay.
to send it out to everybody. So I'll
Okay.
forward it right after this. But I think we're all set for a meeting.
David, I probably won't be there. I'll review stuff and I'll send you, and if you take notes, I'll turn them into minutes, but I don't think I can make it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a problem conflict as well.
And so do I.
So it's tricky, as long as it's at 4, it's okay, but 6:30 is a meeting that I have to attend, and so does Jean, but I will have time to be there, but that doesn't sound like a quorum.
No. Okay, so we should talk about that. If we're gonna make a recommendation to the committee on Thursday, we obviously have to have a meeting before their meeting, so it's gotta be either Wednesday or it's gonna be earlier Thursday before the 4 o'clock meeting starts. So those are our options. I mean, it's either we can't do it tomorrow because it's too late to set up a meeting.
So
Earlier Thursday.
I could do early Thursday as well.
Me too.
When you
Me also.
talking about right before the meeting, the 4 o'clock meeting?
Yeah, like 3.
I'm fine with a 2 o'clock.
2 or 3.
Can't do 2, but I could do anything after 2:45.
3 o'clock would be fine.
I'm not as important as you.
No, everybody's important because we need to have the majority of people on the line.
It's true. I just don't understand this stuff as well.
Don't say you're not important. I don't want to hear that.
Call it vote.
All right. So who can not do a 3 p.m. on Thursday? Anybody that it's making the voting recommendation? I see Katrina. So Chief, can you make it 3 p.m. on Thursday?
I can.
You don't sound like you want to.
I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to vaccinate thousands of people, and my time has been spent doing that. So I will pose the question again: why we can't do it right now?
Because they don't have the price proposal. Oh, unless Laura's prepared for them.
Yes, I will make it Thursday.
I mean, we had to open up and discuss. I understand what you're saying. We had to open up and discuss and rank all this stuff and get it to the folks to put it on the form correctly and then get the form back with the pricing. So I understand your
Got it. I will be there
concern.
Thursday. Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna change the meeting to, I'm gonna ask Caitlin to change it to Thursday at 3 p.m. And I promise you, we'll try to make it as short as possible. So we won't have a meeting on Wednesday. We'll have a meeting Thursday at 3 p.m.
3 p.m. on Thursday. Okay.
All right. Before we go, I know that we talked about possibly, I don't think we have any information back, but I want to ask Neil and Dennis and team, because we were talking about going into negotiations to try to better our pricing for the office and the sleeping quarters. Has there been any movement with the company as far as negotiating?
Dave, I've been in contact with them several times over the last week. I don't have anything new to report other than they will be pursuing two different options for us. One is for a renovated 4-box trailer similar to what we specified. And the other one is for 2 separate trailers to serve in the same function, if you will, just 2 different buildings. So they're looking at pricing both of those options, and we'll send that out when it's finished.
And if those 2 units, are they also renovated or new?
My assumption is they're all renovated.
Yeah.
Neil, are you able to speak as to whether or not they gave you any kind of timeline on either of those?
I asked him if I could have everything by Wednesday of this week, assuming it was going to this committee on Wednesday and the general committee on Thursday. That was the intent.
Okay, Carol?
Yeah, on another timeline, was there any discussion around moving their delivery date up?
Well, that's what we're talking about, timeline.
Oh.
I think it's going to depend on what selection or what option we choose, Carol.
Okay.
They actually one of the magic points, if you will, to the 2 trailers was that they had identified the bigger problem is the overnight accommodations, the residential modulars, if you will. So by separating it and making it 2 boxes, it would give us the opportunity to bring the offices in earlier, and we could tie all the systems into the offices and then just extend power over to the dormitories, if you will, at a later date. Understanding we can't occupy it until everything is there, but we'd be able to do more work sooner, which I think is an advantage.
Okay.
Great. Thanks.
Any other questions about that portion of it? I don't see anybody and hear anybody. So, all right, Neil, thank you for that update. Hopefully we get some more updates at the end of the week or, before our next meeting, but thanks for pursuing that for us. Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem, Dave.
Okay, does anybody have any new items they want to bring to the table before we adjourn? All right. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Mayor.
Can we have a second?
Second.
All right. Everybody agree and say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All right, folks. Well, I'll send the invite after I talk to Caitlin and get it straightened out. I'll send the invite out for Thursday at 3 p.m. Thank you for your time.
Okie doke. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Hi, all.